Relocating to a different country is a monumental decision that can bring about significant personal and professional growth. For Black Americans, considering Kenya as a potential destination offers a myriad of unique advantages. There are some advantages that you can only get in East Africa and some advantages that you can't get outside East Africa. In short, I'm saying, if Ghana is not working for you, if Ghana is not for you, if West Africa is not for you, or Southern Africa is not for you, try East Africa. And Kenya is positive on giving you the change that you need to see. I will provide comprehensive exploration of the compelling reasons why you as a Black American should come back to East Africa, should come back to Africa, and you should get to Kenya. So, with reference to countries such as Ghana and Tanzania, including cultural heritage, economic prospects, educational opportunities, and community building. That is what we are going to do. The reason why I chose Ghana and Tanzania is because these two countries are countries that Black Americans have chosen to live, and they have their own unique reasons.
Listen to what President William Samoei Ruto said about Black Americans coming to Africa.
The good people from Canada, US, and the rest of the place, UK, South Africa, when you come to Kenya, you are coming home.
President Ruto also urged the 14 heads of state and government, 51 foreign ministers of the AU member state, and approximately 1,500 delegates to embrace a conversation to have a united Africa in order to better negotiate for the continent globally, adding that it's possible for Africa to rise on its own resources.
So what I can say is that whatever President Ruto is saying is very, very favorable to the people of the African continent. It's also favorable to the African diaspora. First of all, it is favorable to the people in the African continent because we are going to have economic liberation. We are going to, transiting goods from one state to another is going to be easy. This is going to enhance growth into some countries. We understand some countries in Africa are landlocked. Some countries in Africa are not having shores like the one we have in Kenya, like the one we have in Ghana, like the one we have in Nigeria, in South Africa. There are so many. So when we have this economic liberation and when Africa is borderless, like the president is stating, I'm telling you, Africa is going to grow. That Vision 2030 is going to get real. It's not going to be just a myth, it's going to become real.
Why Black Americans, why African Americans should come to East Africa? Because many African Americans are choosing West Africa, they're choosing Ghana, but that is not the test for everyone.
All of you, my good people from Nigeria, my in-laws, the good people from Canada, US, and the rest of the place, UK, South Africa, when you come to Kenya, you are coming home. So we are looking at the law, we are looking at building consensus as Kenyans, so that because this is home, it's not fair to ask anybody for visa when they are going home.
So I'm here to give you some reasons why you as a Black American should come to East Africa. Let's start with the first one. Here are my reasons. The first reason why you as a Black American should come to East Africa is this. You will be reconnecting with ancestral roots. This is very, very important. Do not overlook this concept. Here is why connecting with the ancestral roots is very, very important. And we will have a reference to the case of Ghana, the 2019, which marked the 400-year period when the first slave ship left Africa for the Americas. So Ghana's Year of Return initiative in 2019, which invited people of African descent to return and connect with their roots, demonstrated the profound impact of re-establishing connections to one's ancestral homeland. That is the first. Re-establishing connection with your ancestral homeland. There's this thing in science about evolution and Darwin and everything. So according to science, they say that East Africa is the cradle of mankind. All humans, Chinese, white or who, they first came from East Africa. And so East Africa is part of Africa. East Africa. So if you have some time, you should pay back time. You should come and visit Africa. So Kenya offers a similar opportunities to Black Americans to explore their historical heritage through visits to cultural heritage sites like Lamu Island, known for its Swahili architecture and history. We have the Gedi ruins, we have Fort Jesus, we have many places in Mombasa. Actually, the place I'm recording this video right now is my hotel room. Yeah, this is the bedroom. So here is part of Mombasa, and tomorrow I'll be going to have some walks and show you some of these places that remind you that you should keep into your mind that as a Black American, when you come to Africa, these are some of the things that should remind you to connect with your ancestral spirits, with your ancestral homeland. It's very, very important to trace your roots. The second one is a little bit political, but it should be said, it is Pan-Africanism and unity. Example, Tanzania's strong Pan-African stance, exemplified by leaders such as Mwalimu Julius Kaberere Nyerere, has contributed to a sense of unity and solidarity among African nations. Unity and solidarity among African nations. There's this thing which Nana Akufo-Addo used to say. Outside Africa, when I see a black man, I don't see a Senegalese, I don't see a Ghanaian, I don't see a South African. Who I see is a black person, who I see is an African. If we Africans, Black Americans or African Americans, whichever way you choose to call yourself, if we can see that Africa is the homeland, we should come back here and re-establish Africa and reconnect with Africa. That is what we should be doing to re-establish ourselves. Black Americans relocating to Kenya can actively participate in and contribute to the Pan-Africanism movement, aligning with the ideals of leaders like Nyerere. Julius Nyerere, this is Nelson Mandela, this is Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. These people had the same mind, they had the same Pan-Africanism spirit in them, and I think it will be respectful, it will be wise, it will be thoughtful, it will be even therapeutic to yourself when you leave all that noise we have in the United States and you try and make an attempt to visit your homeland, visit a place where your great-great-grandfather was taken from. Where he might have been taken from East Africa, because we also had slaves. We had slaves from East Africa taken to the Arabs. We also had slaves from East Africa taken to other parts of the continents. Yeah, it was not only West Africa. So let's dive into the third reason why you as a Black American should visit Kenya. Think of these things objectively. The third reason is an economic reason. I call it economic opportunities, which is diverse economy and entrepreneurship. Somebody called Akon, the great musician. Akon once said that if an African American wants to get rich, Africa is the place to get rich. Africa is a plate that is still not eaten. Africa is very empty. If you want to invest, if you want to develop, if you want to do everything, Africa is the place you can do all this. And I believe what he said is right and it's true. So I said that we are going to give reference between Ghana, Kenya and Tanzania. So we'll start with Ghana. Ghana's thriving entrepreneurial system has attracted global attention, with initiatives like the Year of Return driving investment and economic growth. You see, people like Idris Elba, they established, or rather they want to establish, a very, very big film industry in Ghana. Remember, in West Africa we have the Nollywood, which is a film industry which employs so many Africans. Many Africans are able to get jobs, and so one black person. Idris Elba is not a Black American, rather he is a black person from UK. He is coming to invest into Africa. The second one is Kenya's diverse economy, including sectors like technology, the Silicon Savannah. We have agriculture and finance. Kenya's finance and agriculture provides a fertile ground for entrepreneurship and business development. Guys, when I'm saying this, I'm not just talking. out of nowhere. I believe I have something to say. I have the authority. They're not big, not small, but I have the authority to tell you some things because I can verify this is true. Kenya has got economic opportunities. You know, there is something which always happens, which is a prophet is never respected in their own homeland. Somebody can be having something and they fail to appreciate what they have. Yeah, so somebody from afar is the person who will come and will identify the importance of what these people are having, and that is what we have here. Kenya, Nairobi has each head office. It has each head office of these big companies. Microsoft, we have Google, we have Amazon, we have Apple. Think of it. Kenya has them all here in its capital city, Nairobi. So Kenya is a place where you should try as a black American. Just try. If not agriculture, technology and everything, you should give it a try. Kenya has access to emerging markets. How is this happening? Remember, we are going to give example with reference to Tanzania and Ghana. Tanzania's strategic location within the East African community has made it an attractive destination for business looking to tap into the wider East African market. By relocating to Kenya, black Americans can access not only Kenya's dynamic economy, but also the border of the EAC market, offering a gateway to rapidly growing region. Something was happening a few months ago. What was happening? This is it. The DRC, they sent a petition because they wanted to join the East African community. The East African community is like the SADC, South African Development Community, like the ECOWAS, Economy of West African States, like the COMESA, Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. It's like a trade bloc, but it is said that the East African community is way more powerful than these other trade blocs we have in Africa. And that is why DRC, which is a very, very big country, wanted to join the East African community. You see, of all these countries, Kenya is the most developed in the East African community states. Congo itself has big companies, it has minerals, it has uranium, it has gold, it has diamond, you see. And Africans, because they are reawakening, they are trying to, they know that single-handedly they cannot win, but they have to come together and create a fist. A fist is not made with one finger, it's made with many fingers. So this way they're able to do something impactful. So you as a black American, when you come to Africa, I know you'll be having some capital. You as a black American man or woman. Yeah. So if you can tap into these opportunities, if you can be able to do some trade that involves interstates, you can leave Kenya to Uganda, from Uganda to Congo, or Kenya to Tanzania. This can be a very, very good opportunity because East Africa is offering you the permit to trade within these boundaries. It is good, right? It is really good. These are some of the reasons that you should consider while coming to Africa. Now, the third reason, I call it education and skill development, which Kenya is offering you as a black American. So number one, quality education and research opportunities. Kenya is offering all these because Kenya has international schools. It has big world-class universities. You see, the literacy level in Kenya is very high. It's one of the best we have in Africa. That is Kenya. Okay? So we are going to give reference to Ghana. Ghana's investment in education and research, exemplified by institutions like the University of Ghana, has positioned the country as a hub for academic excellence in the region of West Africa. Yeah, so perhaps this is some of the reasons why you as a black American, you are rushing going to Ghana. Yeah, but Kenya also has the same. Here is why. Kenya has established education systems with institutions like the University of Nairobi and Strathmore University, including my very own university, the Kenyatta University. Yeah, it's called Kenyatta University, not University of Kenyatta. So these universities offers black American access to quality education and research opportunities. Yeah. Kenya has one of the best education systems in Africa, and if this is happening, guys, I think you should try and come here and tap into these opportunities. Yeah, I'm here to help you get into that place, into that space for you to thrive. And once you get to Africa, I want you to give a hi. We can even have an interview if you don't mind. Tarang, tarang, tarang. Let's go to the fourth point. In Tanzania, diverse cultural landscape with over 120 ethnic groups provide a unique environment for cross-cultural learning and understanding. Studying of human behavior I think is one of the best things somebody can ever do, because we are able to appreciate people with their own differences but not separate them. Africa, we are very, very diverse. Even with that, our diversification, we have unity, we understand each other. There is that cord which has always been there. You see, does not matter you're a Bantu, does not matter you're a Luya, does not matter you're a Kushite or a Semite, we are all the same. There's a code that runs within all of us. Yeah. Black Americans, by immersing themselves in Kenya's cultural tapestry, Black Americans gain a global perspective that can be invaluable in an interconnected world. Somebody might ask, how important is Swahili to them? Well, Swahili is just a language, they might say, but no, Swahili is a very, very big language that is spoken by many worldwide. Actually, Swahili language is even added to WhatsApp. Yes, that's how big it is. For a language to be added into a program like these big programs, it has to hold some density, and it's important for you to have this. I even heard that Kiswahili is taught in some universities in the United States of America. So not only for Swahili but for other African languages, it's important when we appreciate these ones, because you are able to identify who you are and appreciate who you are. Kenya is offering you that opportunity. I think you should give a try.
There are 23 people. Hiyo alafu sikio weather ikabadilika sasa. Kama wimbi makubwa, maji yanapiga mpaka maji yanaingia ndani ya boat. They started panicking.
They say that Black Americans are the ones who built United States of America. Yeah, I agree. That is very true. From very, very long ago, when that slave ship left Ghana on the coast of West Africa, all the way to USA. When USA was still being colonized, Africa has really taken a great toll into the building of United States of America. Ghana's active diaspora community has helped play a crucial role in fostering cultural exchange, investment, and development initiatives. That is what Ghana has done. So Kenya, how about it? Kenya, with its established diaspora networks, offers Black Americans a welcoming environment to build a strong connection and contribute to the community. That's true. Kenya, with its established diaspora networks, offers Black Americans a welcoming environment to build strong connection and contribute to the community. What we all want is to contribute to the Black nations, right? And that is what we are striving to do. That is what, as Black Americans, I'm always telling you to give back to the society. Africa should also give back to the society. J.F. Kennedy once said, "Don't ask what your country has done for you, but rather ask, what have you done for your country?" What have you done for your country does not have to be so big or so small. Actually, so big or so small is just a relative word. We don't have big and we don't have small. We have what you have and what you can do. Ha! Imagine you want to go and travel to, maybe you are leaving California to Texas. How are you able to travel when you realize that you have flat tires? Traveling will be difficult, right? So you need to repair the tire for you to be able to travel. That is the same case with nation building. If Black Americans really want to come to Africa, Africa has always had problems. Africa has always had famine. we have civil wars, we have poverty, we have all that. We don't expect Black Americans to solve all the problems, even completely, no. We just request them to do what they can do, just what they can do, to their limits. That is what we request of them. So contributing to nation building. Tanzania's focus on inclusive development as seen in policies like Ujamaa, African socialism, emphasizes community involvement in nation building. Yeah. Do you know that Tanzania was once upon a time a communist country? Yeah, a socialist. Socialism is a variety, is a flavor of communism. So, Black Americans can actively participate in Kenya's development journey by engaging in that which promotes inclusive growth and social progress. Imagine your son or your daughter or your brother or sister, you hear that they've passed the exam, they've made it big in life, and you took part in paying their fee. You know you'll be so happy because their happiness will also be your happiness. Your happiness will be their happiness. And that is what is happening here. If Black Americans, you claim that you built America, which is not your original country, into what it is right now, how much do you think you can do for Africa, which you are about to go to? That is just my question. You don't have the responsibility to do everything for Africa. No, you don't. But you have the responsibility. You have the moral. It is a moral responsibility for you to come to Africa and do something for the Africans. And that is why I'm saying you should come to Kenya. Try Kenya. Try and see for yourself. So let's bring all the matters into rest. To conclude, Kenya, with its rich and cultural heritage, diverse economy, quality education system, and vibrant community, presents a compelling decision for Black Americans seeking new opportunities and a deeper connection to their African roots. Africa, Kenya is offering you that opportunity. Drawing inspiration from other countries like Ghana and Tanzania, the potential benefits of moving to Africa are very, very big. These include personal growth, professional advancement, and meaningful contribution to a dynamic and thriving nation in East Africa. Think of it as a win-win situation. And I'd recommend that if you come to Africa, at least you come when you have a plan in a way that you will be surviving. You can be having a plan for agriculture, a plan for business. That way you are able to survive. Savings does not really help that much because people run out of savings, but people don't run out of business. People will always be coming for business. People will always be in need of agricultural produce. That is my advice to you. You should try Kenya. You won't regret this. Hey! Kindly subscribe to the channel. Don't unsubscribe. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps me a lot to bring you good content.